Am I crazy, or are we not talking enough about one of the best draft picks the Lions had? So let me remind you of our draft picks, and I'm going to tell you who the one player that we're not talking enough about. And so, again, we had Jahmyr Gibbs, a little bit of a surprise at 12. Jack Campbell, same thing, a little bit of a surprise. Sam Laporta, tight end. We're kind of scarred with tight ends. And then we take Brian Branch at 45 overall. And again, I think because we had three picks prior to the 45th pick overall, which is it's a good pick, but we already had three picks, so we're kind of somewhat distracted. Brian Branch is an incredible player that we got at 45 overall. So I'm going to share to you some stats that maybe we haven't realized, because not enough people are talking about Brian Branch. His rookie minicamp was solid. He says the right things. He's a good, as far as like leader, just a dude that gets it. But on the field, some really good stuff. So let me show you a couple of things. First of all, remember how we got him. The Green Bay Packers traded down from 45 to 48, and we gave them a 5th round pick. Now, why this is significant is because Green Bay needs a safety. So we said, let's go up and ahead of them. And I think Green Bay's thinking, fine, we'll pick up a 5th round pick. We'll drop back 3 more spots. Let the Lions come up. They don't need a safety. They might not take him, but safety in the NFL, secondary in general, has just become such a big deal. And we do need a safety. And why? I mean, I'll show you why Brian Branch is not just a safety. He can do a lot of different things, but this right here was huge. We move up, we give them a 5th round pick, and we take that. So that was huge as an opportunity to come up and get him. Next thing, 21 years old, missed 4 tackles over the past 3 seasons per PFF. So I'll get to another article that shows that he is the best tackling defender in all of college football last year, according to PFF. Doesn't miss tackles. One of the things about him is he's a really good tackler, and that's stuff that just gets overlooked. We're talking about their range, their explosiveness. Can they be a ball hawk? Who can they cover? How fast are they? How quick are they? What's their matchup like? Can you tackle? How about that, right? Can you just be a good tackler? And this guy is the best tackler in all of college football last year. So CBS had him as the number 1 overall safety and 17 overall. Again, these numbers, like, we can go the opposite way too when you look at numbers, because you look at Jack Campbell was overdrafted, all that stuff. But the point is, I don't care about this overall as much, even though that's incredible. We got him at 45, he's 17. The best safety. Nobody debates that. And the thing is too, like, the safety class in general was really weak. So the opportunity for the Lions to get him absolutely huge. So we get, again, I'll go back to our picks. You get a Jahmyr Gibbs, which was a little bit of a surprise. Jack Campbell surprise. Sam Laporta, not a surprise, just Lions fans don't love tight ends being drafted. And the next thing you know, we get Brian Branch, Hendon Hooker in the next 2 picks. And you're like, wait a second, you're just trying to figure it out at the time that we did this. Brian Branch, because we took him in the 2nd round, maybe doesn't get the pub that the other guys do. Again, he was projected to go 1st round, no question. Remember, he was at the draft, and I love how he came out the 2nd day. Remember, he stayed overnight and came out the 2nd day. I love what he was wearing. He wasn't in a suit. He was just like, this is what I had packed for the day. I didn't really have 2 suits packed or whatever, right? And he just kind of walks out, and it's like, dude, what's up? Thank you. Love that. So, again, this guy gets it. I absolutely love that. And then here it is right here. He had the best tackling grade in all of football at a 91.8. If you look back at his previous 2 seasons, they were really good as well, because, again, he only missed, what was that again? 4 tackles in 3 seasons at Alabama. Now, what's really cool about him is he's up there with Minkah Fitzpatrick, Landon Collins. He is one of the best safeties in Alabama football history. And so this guy's just kind of under the radar. And I think he's going to be a big deal for us because, again, and this is every NFL player, any prospect, whatever, it depends on where they play and what system they're in. That's the beauty of coming to Detroit. I think Aaron Glenn, I've said this. I think Aaron Glenn is a good defensive coordinator. Because of the slow start last year, it's immediately written off. Oh, Aaron Glenn. No, Aaron Glenn's a good defensive coordinator. He's going to simplify it. And Brian Branch can play anywhere. He can play safety, corner, nickel. And so now all of a sudden you've got CJ Gardner Johnson, same thing. He can play wherever. So we're not just, all right, we have our corners, it's matchups. We can do all kinds of different things secondary wise. So right now, you typically have 5 DBs on the field pretty much all the time now. So now we can match up, play the run, and Brian Branch can play the run. It's not getting talked about enough. And again, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you guys, maybe there's stuff all over out there about Brian Branch. It's just like, yeah, good pick, good job, Lions, good pick. I think this is somebody that you could have taken in the first round, no question. But instead, we really improved our defense. And one of the things overall for the Lions that I really love is our opportunity to take players at positions of need. There's always that best player available need thing. And I talked about this in another video. At the end of the day, you have areas you need players. That's what the draft is for, right? And so now, again, if you're just a struggling team trying to rebuild your roster, you take whatever's in front of you and you grab it. But we're not there good, amazingly. We don't have to reach for players and just, take best player available, even though we already have a great left tackle. No, we don't have to do that. And so the Lions did. They went out in free agency and in the draft, took care of needs. So now our secondary, oh my gosh, completely different. I mean, there were days when we had Savion Smith, no offense to him, back there at safety. We had named the safety that you're like, who are you? I didn't even know you were on the team. Now all of a sudden you've got Kirby Joseph, you've got Brian Branch, you've got Walker, you've got Tracy Walker. That's going to be playing back there. You got CJ Gardner Johnson, who can be basically a safety. He can play corner. He can do anything. Our defensive backs now can get to the ball, tackle. Aaron Glenn can blitz. There's so much we can do now. On top of that, you've got our linebackers that are much improved. Depth. You don't have that straight up drop off when one of those guys goes out. That was the hard part. Those guys would go out, and the next thing you know, who's in at linebacker? Jalen Reeves-Maybin. No offense to him, but he can't be your every down linebacker if an injury happens or whatever. Defensive line-wise, we've got a bunch of depth. So I'm most excited about the defense because I think offensively we're always going to be able to just kind of move the ball. We're always going to be able to make things happen just because it's innovative. It's very good. That's not the concern. It's like you got to be able to stop some people once in a while. So let me know your thoughts in the comments about Brian Branch. I think it's the best pick we had. I absolutely love it. And with more time to kind of sit on and think about it, I love it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Remember, this canvas is in the description. Check it out, and we'll see all of you on the next one.